Hello, everybody. I realised my third hello is not actually in the script, but it probably should be by this point. Hello, welcome to this lovely Q&A on this bright and sunny Thursday in the UK. It's lovely outside. I've been staring at the blue skies every moment I can. If you didn't know, we're talking about Varlamore Part 2 again in this live stream, but this time it's going to be about the group boss encounter and its rewards. We released a blog on Tuesday, because Monday was a bank holiday. Tuesday, that gave you a lot of detail. So yeah, if you haven't read that, you should definitely check that out while we're going through bits and pieces here. But, and you can use !group boss in the chat to check that out. And we also had a lovely Discord stages call on Tuesday. So if you want more on this topic, a little insight before we jump into questions today, you can type !stages into the chat to get a link to the recording, and you can type !discord to not miss upcoming podcasts, because we're going to do more of them because they're very chill. And I enjoy them. I enjoy hanging around with some people and having a chill time without a camera on. It's a bit less pressure, you know. It's a lovely time. But I am joined. It'd be amiss if I didn't introduce our wonderful guest, Mod Squid. How are you doing, sir? How you been?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. It's very warm here, actually. It suddenly got really hot again. Not a fan. But yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. Ready to talk about some boss stuff.
Hell yeah, it is hot. I also have noticed. I'm glad I opened my windows, because otherwise I'd be sweltering in here. So I've done the right thing. But yeah, it's been nice though. Nice change in the weather. I'm enjoying it. You know, I feel like this has been the most British stream we've done for a while. Coming straight in talking about the sunshine, and then inevitably we'll moan about it when all of the transport's affected and stuff. So yeah, you know,
that's the way.
All right. I've been asked in the script though. What have you been up to? You should probably fill people in on that.
What have I been up to? I've been implementing the boss and looking at all the feedback that's come in. Yeah, it's been keeping me very busy.
Awesome stuff. Sorry, I'm getting caught off by chat talking about Harry Potter and wizards. So thanks for that, chat. Thank you very much. I've also been asked if you can pronounce the boss's name for me.
I will do my best. So I think it is the Hui Quatl.
Oh, that was some good inflections. Yeah. Okay.
I went and checked with some people.
What is it? Hui
Quatl.
Hui Quetl. Okay. Hui Quetl. I felt like I did the Hui all right on the reading, but the Quetl I think I need to. Okay, Hui Quetl. All right, I like that. Awesome. All right, Squid. Before we jump into some questions that you and I are going to go over, talking about the group boss, we'll probably do some announcements. So first up, ! Game update. The first batch of Project Rebalance in here, with improvements to agility, slayer, mining, and thieving, as well as the mage training arena changes are also out. So a hefty update, loads of things. There's tons and tons of things to go over. So if you haven't read that yet, go and check out the blog. There's tons, and we're not stopping there. There's still some more Project Rebalance to come, so stay tuned. And ! Group boss, Varlamore Part 2 group boss proposal is here. You can check out an overview of this PVM encounter aimed at seasoned players, which can be done both solo or en masse. Yeah, we're talking about it here, so if you haven't read the news post, don't worry. We're probably going to go through everything here, as well as your in-depth feedback. And next up is ! Game Jam. We're back from Game Jam 5. Yes, we've had 5 of them. It's been insane. If you'd like to learn more about what we worked on during Game Jam, you can use hashtag OSRS Game Jam on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, or check out the wiki page with the command there. I will say, as a little teaser, there will be a Game Jam news post, and I think this might be the best one we've done yet, Squid. I don't know about you, but...
Very exciting stuff. Very, very cool stuff.
Yeah, so you can look forward to that at some point soon. And then finally, GG. Guildlord Games Season 4 is out right now. You can check out the first episode with GG. Maybe wait till after the stream, I will say, because, you want to get all the info from us. And then, if you haven't, go and watch Soup's fantastic Season 4 of Guildlord Games, which is insane to think is already at Season 4. An amazing start to what is sure to be an amazing series. So let's go. All right, with those out of the way, I'm going to spend 5 minutes just talking about some Project Rebalance changes before we get into the core of this stream. Because we've made we've done some hot fixes, and we've made some changes, especially today. We've made some changes that we've added to the news post. You can see them at the top of the news post if you use !game update. But I'll run through them now, and then I'm going to go over a couple of upcoming changes. And I want to stress, before I go over the upcoming changes, some of them might not happen straight away, but they are on our radar, and we're exploring a lot of avenues with them. So just bear that in mind. But in terms of the hot fixes, we fixed an issue where the Brimhaven ticket dispensers XP rates were wrong. The pirate hook is now correctly added to the collection log. We made changes to the volcano drops, so it should feel better when more players are there. So that should fix some of the issues, but we will be keeping an eye on it to make sure it still sticks in the right area we want it to be. We've issued a temporary hotfix to stop the world hop abuse we've seen within the Brimhaven Agility Arena. So for the meantime, you will have to do 2 tags in a row to start earning tickets like you did before. So just please bear in mind this is temporary. We will let you know more once we've got an official fix in place. We've adjusted the XP rates for the opt-out resources version of Volcano, as some players were reporting getting excessively high rates on mass. So we'll be keeping an eye on this area as well for more feedback. And finally, probably the most contentious hotfix we've done is we've removed the ability for mining gloves to work on granite and sandstone. Now, I just wanted to expand on this because a lot of people wondering why. The whole goal of Project Rebalance has been to make skilling, or those areas that we've touched on, better, at least improve the whole landscape of those skills. And higher intensity skills. So it wasn't touching the free tick granite methods we were seeing in terms of XP, but because it was so low intensity compared to some of the other things and giving more XP than those methods, we felt it was only fair to keep to our project goals and make sure this falls in line with that aspect. So they have been removed. You can still use them on all the other ores, like, that we've listed in the blog, but granite and sandstone have been taken off. So that's the idea behind it. So I'm sorry for those of you that were enjoying that. We just didn't want to leave this for too much longer because we felt it was a shame to take that away later rather than earlier. So yeah, so there's still plenty of methods to do. That's the whole beauty of the Project Rebalance, right? Is like we've made a lot of mining improvements to a lot of other mining methods that you can go and try now, and I would say a lot of them have just generally improved overall. So go and test out. Maybe you should test out some mining activities that you've not done before. If you've not done volcanic mine, go and test that out. Not done volcano, maybe go test that out. See how you feel. So yeah, and outside of that, the upcoming changes. And again, I want to stress this might not be instant, but we're looking to add a UK world to the Brimhaven Agility Arena. We're also looking into giving you ways of converting your old Brimhaven tickets into new ones, because we know there were players that had lots of them en masse and felt a bit shafted when we brought in the new ticketing system. So we are looking into having ways of converting them. We're also exploring falls at both Canifis and Apatol. So I don't know if we're going to take away every fall, but we're definitely exploring making that just feel better overall, because I know that was definitely one of the highlights we saw from feedback that people wanted to look into. We're readjusting the fail rates on heroes and paladins, because we also saw that was maybe a little bit too high than what we wanted. And for the gnomes, that means readjusting the clue rates for them. And then finally, and this is the one I want to stress most about not being straight away, but we're potentially looking at a way to be able to swap a current task with a stored task in terms of Slayer. So, you could be on a Slayer task and then you go, you know what, I want to do something else, and you can switch it around with something. So I'm not sure on like the full ins and outs. We've only had these discussions today, and it probably won't come with next week's game update. It will probably come later on, but we are exploring it. So please bear in mind those things that I just talked about. They might not come with next week's update. It might be a little bit longer than that. So yeah, hopefully this is good news for you all. We think Project Rebalance has gone pretty well, I would say. We're still going to continue to keep an eye on things. We've had to patch a couple of unnecessary, I wouldn't say exploits. They're definitely like unnecessary XP gains, like the Mage Training Arena method. So that was crazy XP per hour. So we want to make sure that any of those methods get patched. But yeah, we will keep continuing to look at your feedback and go over that in detail. All right. So hopefully that's good. And now Project Rebalance, this part of the stream is done. So if you came for that, I'm sorry. We're going to be talking about the group boss now. And we've got a lot to talk about, I'd say, Squid, with the group boss. Again, if you haven't checked it out, you might want to have the news post up on the side so you can sort of follow us along as we go through questions with exclamation mark. I want to say group boss. It is exclamation mark group boss. So I think we'll just start going into to the questions, Squid. Are you ready for how many we got on the list? 33 questions so far.
There's a lot. Right, I've just switched my mic. Is that better? Is that coming through clearer? Or is that still webcam?
I can hear you well, I think. I think behind the scenes will know a bit more than me, but...
It's probably not switched. Whatever.
Okay. Well, if you can hear Squid, that's the main thing, I hope. As long as you can hear them. Like, you know, can you hear him? That's the main thing.
So unfortunate. This is such a nice mic. Like, won't use it.
You know what you need to do, Squid? Oh, my camera's going AWOL as well. We can talk about it after, but there's a setting you can do into this where you can actually change your settings in the thing. So.
Oh. You never used to do this.
Right.
I just used the main mic for weather.
Yeah, I don't know. I did just see a first-time chat asking how I survived Voldemort. That caught me off guard as well. So we'll see. Anyway, we're going to get into some questions now while Squid and behind the scenes check out things. Let's start with the first one. Nice, simple, easy one, Squid, I think. Is the group boss going to be Draconic?
Yeah, so we were talking about this. I know everyone's looked at it and gone, oh, is that a dragon? Yeah, so we are going to make it Draconic. Yeah, it will be a weak to Dragonbane weapons. Yes.
Yes, so it wasn't Draconic, and then we went, you know what? Maybe we should make it Draconic, because a lot of people seem to think it is. So, yes, it will be Draconic from now on. I was saying this I can't remember if I said it on the Stages call or just in personal meetings, but I did look at it and sort of feel very closely resembled Rayquaza. I had sort of in the back of my mind. So I instantly went to Dragon, but, you know. But now it is. Now it is a dragon. So there you go. Yep. I can see merchers in the chat going nuts. They're very happy. But speaking of Draconic, I think we should probably talk about the Duelling one, Mod Squid, which has probably been the most contentious reward on this list. I don't know if you just want to just start going over like why we chose to look at the design of the Duelling wand as it is, and then we'll go into what we spoke about today. Yeah,
sure. Also, thanks, guys. I know it's the wrong mic. I can't do anything about it right now. It's just going to have to be like this. Yeah, so the original Duelling wand we were looking at with the rebalance in mind of like things are going to have elemental weaknesses once the elemental rebalance is out. So we can start fleshing out some of that space. So we were looking at making earth spells. In this case, an earth spell that would be pretty strong and competitive, and also get the nice boost from the rebalance afterwards. Of course, you know, we saw your feedback on, say, quite rightly, that the only things that would actually be weak to that would be metal dragons initially. And I mean, this boss will have an elemental weakness. But obviously, things in the future will have more weaknesses, but that's not very cool now. So. And also, obviously, the space with the scepter. It doesn't become better till a bit later, but it feels like it's competing for the same thing. So, so we've had another look at it and we're discussing stuff earlier. And so our current thinking now, so let us know what you think of this, is we'll get rid of the unique spell, the special spell coming out of it. And so it's just a normal wand, but it would have Dragonbane on it. So it will be a magic Dragonbane weapon. It would be, obviously it's coming from a sort of mid-level boss, so it's going to be tuned accordingly, but it might be a nice stepping stone for Dragonbane for sort of mid-levels. And then potentially later on, it could be, we could upgrade it from high-level content to something that's an endgame Dragonbane magic weapon.
Yeah. So I think some of the feedback we saw, especially with the first iteration, was and this is again what Squid was saying, rightly so, is that I don't know how many of people, especially in chat, have tried the beta out. So there was a period where you could try elemental weaknesses, but I think it is also unfair of us to just hold on that point that you tried the beta and read the blogs and understand how impactful that was going to be, without actually having it be in game and be in game for a little bit. And then I think we're then going to start exploring that remit of reward space, as in like elemental specific weapons. So just to clear up some air, this won't be a 3-tick wand. It will be 5-tick. Squid, am I right?
Yeah, normal casting speed and on the standard spellbook.
Yeah, on the standard spellbook. So not a 3-tick. So because 3-tick weapons are, for magic especially, maybe a little bit crazy. Could you imagine a 3-tick? What was that? 3-tick fire surge before in our little call would be insane. So yeah, and again, it is mid level. The terminologies are always like so loose, I think, like especially with players and devs. So normal weapons on a normal spellbook with Dragonbane, 5-tick. So that's the sort of approach we're going for, because again, it would be unfair to give you a weapon that has got, we're saying like it's going to be good, but you don't really know it's going to be good without being in the game itself. So it wasn't a charged staff. No, as far as I'm aware, we never made it a charged staff, did we, Squid?
No, it wasn't charged. It just had a unique spell.
Yeah, we will say this isn't like the final iteration of this, and the designers behind it will still need to go through numbers and find out where it needs to balance in between like other draconic weapons, what creatures it will be good against and how good it will be against. So that's why we're not like, I wanted to get an updated blog out by tomorrow, but I think we're going to step back and take a little bit of time and just make sure that it's in a good place before we like come out to you with like the whole thing. So hopefully next week we will have it something like that. I'm seeing a lot of people in chat saying make it a 4-tick. I think if we do that, we'll have to look into like the actual how powerful that will be, because that's the ultimate decision, right? Like we don't want it to just like out DPS everything else up to a certain point, and then it just becomes the best in slot for everything other than the shadow or something, you know. So it's all about balance. I'm not going to say we're going to make it 4-tick, but for now, just keep it in mind it's a 5-tick standard spellbook autocast weapon with Dragonbane on it. So that is the gist. Okay. Yes, I'm seeing again 4-tick may be too crazy for Surge as well. Again, so we shall see. The 4-tick could be the upgraded version. Yeah, you're right. So, but you know, so again, just to clarify, 5-tick. Standard spellbook autocast weapon with Dragonbane on it. That is our new thinking for this weapon. Do you want anything else you want to say, Squid?
That covers it. We're not gonna. We have no intention of increasing the spellcasting speed of the normal spellbook at the moment for this.
Yeah, one or two-handed. I think it will still be one-handed, like the Wonder was intentionally. So you should still be able to get access from any tomes you can use for elemental damages, which it will benefit from, which will be nice. Mm-hmm. But there's no like specific. You can at least pick your spell book, pick your elemental spell, pick your book, and then go off and do whatever you need to do with it. So, yeah, awesome. All right, that was like 5 or 6 questions we answered in a row because I didn't want to go through them systematically because I felt like that would be a bit weird. One of them I will say, PvP. Yeah, you should be able to use it in PvP as far as I'm aware. I don't think there's anything that's stopping it unless we make it like 4-tick or something crazy like that. Then we might have to think about PvP and not having it there. But as it stands now, it should be able to be used in PvP.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So I suppose speaking of the Tome of Earth, Squid, why is the Tome of Earth coming from a PVM boss instead of a skilling boss or something minigame mining related in particular?
Yeah, that is a fair question, and it is one we have talked about ourselves as well. The thing is, with the rebalance coming, like the tomes will be pretty decent, and there's definitely a gap with that, with Earth and Air not having the boost. So we were looking to how can we get these tomes, get the ball rolling on these tomes, and we don't know when there's going to be like skilling updates to mining or stuff like that, which can keep it skilling. And so we thought it fit with this. It's in a mountain, it's tunneling, it's Earth related. There might be a use for the Tome of Earth against this boss as well. So yeah, we just thought it slotted in quite nicely. I do appreciate that it has a higher level requirement than like the Water Tome or something like that. But they are combat weapons, so you're only going to be using them with the relevant combat levels anyway. So from that point of view, it's maybe not too crazy. It's just inconsistent, right? That's the problem. It just feels weird because we're doing something different. But yeah, that's the thinking. We do want to get a tome rolling, so we thought it'd be a good fit.
Yeah, again, like we spoke about this in the Discord stages, but we thought it would be better to introduce the Tome of Earth with something that we know is coming out rather than having you wait to have a Tome of Earth. Because honestly, there's no plans to do like another skilling boss in the very near future. So when that next tome would come from a skilling boss, I couldn't tell you. It could be a year's time. It could be 4 years' time. Like, would you want to wait that long because of an inconsistency? Or would you rather just have those extra tomes in there just so that you can use them? So it's up. It's more up to you guys. Like, again, the Air one, I don't know when that will come. And I will say the next question is on the Tome of Air. Why didn't we go for a Tome of Air? So Squid, I don't know if you we just want to hop to that question.
Yeah, sure. I know the boss has little wings, but it can't really fly, and it is like tunneling through the mountain. It's doing earthy things, and we were looking to make like currently earth spells don't get used a lot, so we were looking at whether they could be more beneficial in this fight, rather than just default into like Fire Surge. So the Tome of Earth kind of slotted into that and kind of fed back into the boss itself for use, and fit the sort of theme of what it's doing with the walls and tunneling and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just saw someone say that boss being earthy thing is kind of a stretch. It lives in the tunnel. It lives in the mountains. It doesn't fly. It might. I think we were talking about this before. It might glide, maybe with its tiny wings, but it's a chonkus. It's a chonkus. Like, it's a long boy. So it will be like buried in the mountain, and you'll see when you see like the encounter, like you'll see why it's more earth based than air. So yeah, we'll just have to. It might be a horrible excuse for like some lore reasons, but we liked that idea. It was like an earthy boy, long boy, earthy long boy. Is that the right? Earthy long boy. Yeah. So, all right. The next question on the tome then, because I think we should stick with this, is: I assumed water and earth runes would be granted from muddy pages due to the association with mud runes and mud staff. Any plans on changing the name? Oh, Squid, I think you're muted unless I've lost sound. Have I lost sound? Oh no, this mic stuff's not going well for Squid today. Maybe it was behind the scenes that muted Squid all along. No, I'll answer the question on Squid's behalf while he's figuring out mic problems. But yes, yeah, okay, you can nod Squid. Are we planning to change the name? There we go. There we go. Yeah, so we're not sure what the new name is going to be, but we'll want to take that association a bit out of from mud, just to make sure there's a bit more focus and make sure it's a bit more refined in terms of knowing what exactly it does. So here, yeah, he types responses and yeah, Squid could type responses. He could join the chat and type it in. I'm gonna open up our like work messaging platform just in case. Although I've lost my controls now, so you're gonna have to just bear with me, guys. But anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna skip over the next question behind the scenes just because I think we answered it. Next question though is I don't think I'm just gonna say it. I don't think we're going with soiled pages. I'm just gonna put it out there. Don't think that's gonna be the name of them. Don't know, just probably not. The next question though is, will the Tome of Earth offer anything beyond 10% damage? The Water of Tome gives 20% accuracy, 10% damage, and the effect to other spells. So having both the Tome of Fire and the Tome of Earth just be 10% feels lacking. Oh, have we lost Squid? Okay, I think Squid's rebooting. It's rebooting Squid, yeah. I can answer this unless Squid is back.
Can you hear me?
Oh my god, he's clear, he's loud, and I think he's got the right mic. Let's go.
Excellent. The webcam's now changed all of its color settings. Awesome. Right,
it's fine. It's fine. Exactly. This is why stages are a bit more chill, because there's no camera. There's no camera issues, right? There's just voices. It's just
the problem is I have my camera unplugged, so I plugged it in, and everything then changed to use the camera, and that's just mucked everything up. There we go.
Well, we've got you back, and we can hear you, Squid. That's the main thing. So I'll repeat the question. Will the Tome of Earth offer anything beyond 10% damage? The Tome of Water gives 20% accuracy and 10% damage, and the effects to other spells, so having both the Tome of Fire and the Tome of Earth just be 10% damage feels lacking.
So I think they're all getting changed with the rebalance, right?
I believe so.
Like all of
as
them.
far as I'm aware, they're all going down to 10% damage buff.
So, because the thing is, the rebalance is going to make using a particular elemental spell against particular mobs with a weakness really, really good. So the tomes then compound that. So that's the space they're going to be filling. They're going to be much more useful following all that. So they're all going to be that 10%. So this is pitched post that. So yeah, you can't compare it with the other tomes like how they are now. You've got to compare how they will be, which will be the same.
Yeah, exactly. I will say, for that person in chat that asked me what's on my head, they're spots, bruv. It's very obvious. Look, they're just like, it's my weird forehead, bruv. It's just got so much space that I need some buddies every now and then, So it's nice. All right, next question then is, why are the prayer recharge potions coming from PVM and not the new herblore activity?
Yes. I mean, secondaries do come from monsters, like that kind of is reasonable, but we get it, like the herblore activities coming out at the same time. It does feel a bit weird. We appreciate that feedback. So we have an idea. Let us know what you think of this. We could introduce a new Varlamorean herb, which you'd get as seeds from the boss, and that herb would be used to make unfinished potions, which would then be used with secondaries from the herblore activity to create the new potions. So you bit of both. What do you guys think to that?
So I will say, just a caveat, we're still unsure on what herb we're going to use for the potion of goading, or as most people are dubbing it, the aggro potion. That's still to be decided. We're just talking about the prayer recharge potion, because there were some, like, I think there was like loads of different avenues that we could have gone down. Really, one of them is like have 2 separate secondaries from each of the boss, which I think was our original idea, but we saw a lot of players like unsure about that. There was one secondary across the both, but then having them use different herbs, but that in itself creates a bit of like a weird dynamic like between the boss and the herblore activity. So we feel like this way might be like a nicer middle ground. Obviously we're still gonna put this in the blog, and we're still gonna get your feedback on it, but we're just putting it out there now because it's cool. It gives the boss something like to come back for, especially after you get the uniques from it, that you can just like grab the seeds and, you know, plant them and have this like wonderful herb that you can create 2 potions from, maybe. Again, we don't know if it's going to be 2 potions, but at least you can have one that you're going to come back for. So yeah, we'll put it in the blog. We'll see. I saw a bit of like back and forth in chat saying like maybe not, but I think it's like at least an interesting idea that sort of like fixes both of the things. Would seeds come from other Varlamore activities? Potentially. Like I don't think I can answer that right now, but I'm not sure. Maybe, but who knows? I don't think we're against. I think when we chatted in the call, Squid, we did say we're not against adding like either the herb or the seed later on to something else, but we don't know. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to cut in, Squid. I'm not from Essex, bruv. I'm not from Essex. I'm from London. All right? This is a clear, thick London accent. You can't come in with that Essex nonsense, all right? Essex is a lovely place, but I'm from London, all right? So I'm not having that. Sorry, Squid. What were you going to say?
No, it's important. You got to get out there.
Yeah, so I don't know if you wanted to touch any more on the prayer recharge potion. Sorry, prayer rejuvenation potions.
Yeah. I mean, on the topic of whether you'd get seeds or the herbs from somewhere else, quite possibly. That's a reasonable thing. We do that with other herbs. So, yeah, possibly. Don't know it at this time. But initially, potentially just the boss. Potentially add it to some other things. We'll get the discussion going. But yeah, that's the current idea. Get them both useful.
Exactly. So again, we'll put it in the blog. Again, it will probably be next week rather than my initial pitch or plan of Friday, just because we need to make sure we do a bit more tuning with rewards and stuff, especially the new area for the wand to go into. Let's have a look. We're going to skip over this about the single source of a secondary because we sort of covered that with this. One question, though, just to sort of clarify, because we didn't really make it clear in the blog. Is the prayer rejuvenation potion a 4-dose? And is it 8 minutes per dose or combined for all 4 doses?
It's 4-dose, 8 minutes per dose.
There you go. So I think it was...
And to answer the next question, it doesn't stack.
Yeah. I think we said it... Yeah, it would reset the timer. So you can't go in and drink a prayer rejuvenation potion for your 6-hour log timer and be ready for the whole thing. It will just like reset the timer when you drink it again. So yeah, because otherwise it feels a bit weird if... why not? That would be insane. That would be insane. You just drink this you drink like what, I don't know, like 4 pre-pop potions as you log in, and then you don't have to touch that potion again until you log in next. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy talk. All right, let's go. Can you give confirmation? I mean, this might not be one you can answer, Squid, but can you give a confirmation whether or not you can pot share the new prayer rejuvenation potion? If not, can it be considered to let us pot share it?
You can't pot share prayer potions, can you? So I don't think you can pot share prayer potions.
I'm
So
gonna
if you
wait
can't
for.
do those, then you probably can't do this.
Apparently, you can.
Or you can potshare. Oh, you can.
There you go.
Okay, I'm looking at the wrong potshare. Oh, never mind. I'm looking at boosted potshare. Don't worry.
Okay.
So maybe then, yeah, maybe.
Boosted potshare would be insane.
Yeah. So possibly then, possibly. I don't see why not then.
Yeah.
We'll have to have a discussion about that.
Yeah. Again, I think we can. Yeah, we'll have to. Again, well, I think we'll have to balance it, just to make sure it's not too overpowered. But again, if the prayer pots are doing it, then why not? But again, we'll see when we're going to balancing. I will say, just to sort of caveat this, I know there was a lot of sort of conversation about when Varlamore launched and things that have changed during development and then didn't really get talked about until launch. The plan is to have probably the Gazette, but have that use let you know about like things that have changed during development, so you can sort of we can be a bit more open with you guys about like what's going on. So it's the same thing with like process on like potshare, the pre-pot device and elements of the herblore activity. Like we'll probably put that into the blog if any like major changes or how they're like used, just so you guys can get more visibility on everything. So and we'll probably touch on this, so if that changes at all, then we'll probably add it to the Gazette. So just keep that in mind. If big things change, we'll let you know. Next question then. Will the new prayer potion have a certain interaction with the Holy Wrench?
Yeah, we talked about this in the stages, didn't we? Yeah, it would make sense for it to get boosted.
Yeah, I was saying I like the Holy Wrench. It's a cool little niche item that doesn't get as much use. I think it's very cool. But I know a lot of people don't need to use it because they're good at the game. But it'd be nice to have that use, honestly. So we don't know what the effect will. Like, I don't know if it'll be like a straight effect that it will work.
Yeah, I don't know.
The same way, but
need to look into that.
Yeah. So again, it'll be another thing that we'll speak to you about later on after if it gets through the poll, and how we go about doing that. Cool. So how do you see the prayer potions interacting with redemption in high-end content?
So, yeah, I was having a look at this question. I'm not quite sure what what they were thinking with what the interaction would be. I mean, it just restores prayer, so you just have more prayer faster to then have redemption proc. So I don't think there's any particular special interaction unless I am missing something.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too slow to proc it properly, but maybe I'm wrong. I see Fermi as an example in their Vescular. Again, it will probably be something we just have to look into and make sure it's balanced correctly, because again, I don't know if being able to proc redemption hundreds of times in a sit-in is a good thing if that is the case. So, it's kind of crazy. Maybe that's a bad take from me. I don't know, but again, I think it will be a case of just when it comes to balancing. So just bear that in mind.
Yeah, it's something for us to look at. But the restore isn't that fast, so.
Yeah, it's like, especially it's dependent on how quick your prayers are draining you as well. It will matter. Like, it will give the scale of difference in time to be able to use it will be greater or less depending on how quick your prayers are being yeeted.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Are there any other reward suggestions in the works? Now, this is a very interesting question, Squid.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we did see some discussion on Reddit that we quite liked actually, which was around a prayer ranging set. Now, initially we weren't doing a range reward just because I thought range is used quite a lot. It's fairly strong. Maybe we don't need to add more to that. But the suggestion was really cool. It seems fitting. It's Draconic now, right? So the scales can actually be used to make some armor. So we were thinking, what about a slightly stronger, as in more prayer bonus version of Blessed Godhide, Blessed Dragonhide? So you'd make it with hides from this boss, and it would just give you more prayer bonus compared to Blessed Dragonhide.
Yeah, I think there's conversations to figure out how much accuracy and defense we want to give this set, just to see where it slots, because range armor's a little bit weird, I think, when we were having those conversations, and definitely like the jump up is not as considerably great as some of the other areas of the game, I think. Especially in certain slots like headpieces. Definitely not that many great headpieces in terms of like the jump up. So I think we're just going to have to balance where this set sits in terms of like its placement, I suppose, is the key thing for us.
Yeah. It's more to provide a decent prayer, sort of lower level prayer option for ranged armor, rather than trying to like slot it in with a particular accuracy or strength gap, because with the range progression there basically isn't one. So it's more going off with the prayer side of things.
Yeah. So again, this is exactly why we're not coming out with like the updated blog tomorrow, because we need to just like make sure we've got not just our numbers correct, but make sure we're in line with exactly what we're doing with the rewards. So we just thought that one was like the best alternative to a new reward that we saw in terms of suggestions. So we just want to, make sure we're doing it correctly. And again, we can come out and you guys could hate it, and then we go back with your feedback and keep this consultation wheel turning, because that's what we want to do, right? That's what we're here for. So hopefully you'll like it, but if not, we'll go back.
Yeah, I see people saying, what if you upgraded Godhide? The problem is they come from treasure trails, and that's such a difficult space to be like, oh yeah, you just need to go get Blessed Godhide. I know mains can buy it, but even so, treasure trails is just an odd place for that to come from, especially if you then need it to upgrade. So yeah, it's one we need to discuss more and see what you guys why do play-based things.
It's interesting as well, because I don't like there probably will be some element of like devaluing Blessed D'hide from that, but Blessed D'hide will also have it's always going to have its place in God War's dungeon, being able to use it there and negate damage from X creatures when in there. So we'll sort of have its space, but I don't know if that's like good enough. So again, it's like we need to make sure that where we're putting this armor still like helps things. So again, just something to bear in mind. We're putting out on this stream for this specific reason. So that's why we do these. Cool. All right. Next question then. Any chance this group boss could be tweaked to be next tier, near impossible to solo, hard hitting, group focused?
No, it's aimed at mid level. Like the idea was to make a mid level group boss. So like maybe another time we can make another high level group boss, but this one's intended to be a little more accessible.
Yeah, I'm sorry for all you endgame players wanting some crazy stuff, but also the crazy stuff takes a lot more time to balance properly. So, and we want to get some. We want to have Varlamore in a place, I think, of like just a lot going on, but a lot of like good stuff rather than just loads of meh stuff. And I think this is like, I know we've got Perilous Moons, and I know a lot of people are saying like we have Perilous Moons that offers that med level content, but I think that this is something that is you can do with friends that is a bit more interactive than Perilous Moons. Like Perilous Moons, I think fits a really good place in that journey, and now this will fit like another part of that journey. So then you have a bit of a choice as well while you're in Varlamore, staying in the same place. So, all right. So next one: can Ironman kill this in a group like Nex or Nightmare?
Yeah, we'll be able to make an instance and join the public one. Yeah, sorry, this is Ironman specifically. Yeah, like it'd be like next. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't want people coming in and ruining your prestige, just turn private off on your friends and synchronize with them properly so no one crashes your your instance. All right, so what other loot can we expect on the drop table? Will Blessed Bone Shards or Sunfire Splinters be on the boss's drop table?
Yeah, we were talking about having both of them on there. Blessed Bones and probably Sunfire Shards to a suitable extent for the level.
Yeah. So we're not gonna. It's probably not gonna be as good to do as Colosseum, but it'll be like a fair amount that you can get just there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next one. Does the group boss retaliate while attacking it on its different parts while scaling the mountain, or is fighting these parts similar to killing Hespori plants or Skotizo altars, for instance? So no retaliation.
I mean, obviously, it's still early days of implementation and testing, but the idea at the moment is they don't retaliate. You just hit them while dealing with the other mechanics that the boss is doing.
Yeah, so attacking them directly will be fine. Like, they won't, hit you back, but you... I'm guessing the motorbike was heard by not just me, so... Yeah, so the parts itself you're attacking are... they won't hit you back directly, but you will need to deal with some other things while you're running around and doing stuff. So, just keep that in mind. I think I mentioned twice in the blog, protection prayers, they are required. So make sure that you come prepared. All right. Does the Dwarven priest require protection from the player during the boss fight? Will you fail the encounter if the priest dies?
No, you don't need to worry about protecting the priest. The priest is there to help you. They can take care of themselves.
Yeah, this isn't an escort mission because everyone hates escort missions. So we're not putting that in there for you. So don't worry. The dwarves can handle themselves. They've been handling themselves for hundreds of years. They're fine. Just leave them to do their thing. So don't worry. All right, next question then. Will we need to bring our pickaxes with us as we embark with this dwarven party?
No, you won't need to bring a pickaxe. There's no skilly bits. You're all good.
Yeah, just get rid of the boss's parts, or at least what was I saying that this stage is called? Tickle the parts away until.
Oh yeah, that's right. Give it a little tickle.
Yeah, give it a little tickle with your weapons until it moves, and then go up and face the head. So I want to mention this actually. I saw a lot of people saying oh, is it going to be like Duke, or what was the other one that I saw? Sort of like in that prep phase where you just you have to do this. I think it's on playtesting. It's more active than I think Duke prep phase is. It's part of the fight. It feels like part of the fight rather than prep. So I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. It shouldn't feel like a prep thing that's separate to the actual fight. You are fighting stuff.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here we go. Because I've seen this pop up multiple times, but we didn't say it in the blog. But I'll add it to the updated blog. Will this boss have a pet, Squid?
Yes, it will.
Yes, it will. I mentioned this on the stages. I've seen some concept art, and there are 2 versions of the pet at the moment, and I'm still leaning towards the spinny concept A version because I kind of like that, just because of how derpy it is. But we'll see. We'll see what we get. Right. Okay. Will there be a quest needed to unlock the boss?
Probably not. Then we maybe could add a quest later to sort of introduce more stuff, but probably initially there won't be a quest. At least definitely not gating it. Tweet tweet.
Oh, okay. You can hit. They know now. They know now. I've looked at them. They know what they're doing. These birds outside. All right. So the next one is how do loot rolls work? Are there individual drops?
We need to iron out the specifics, but we're sort of basing it off the next system. So there'll be loot distributed based on contribution. Yeah, but we need to sort of... We can't get any more detailed at the moment. We want it to be fair. You know, we want people to feel like they're getting drops for their contribution. And we also, there's the question of like, well, it's a mid-level boss, so what if a few high levels come in and just absolutely blast it, and they're going to steal the loot for everyone else? You know, that doesn't feel very fair either. So there's some things to figure out there.
Yeah, we're going to try and make it like a nice middle ground that is not like, you know, high levels can just come in and just be like, yo, this is our turf now. So, you know, it's mid-level boss. It's for everybody that can do it, you know? All right, so next question then is, do you have the boss kind of designed to be sight-read, similar to Scurrius, aka not needing to pre-read the wiki and the sorts and having to pre-prep nonsense like recoils or staminas or anti-fire or poisons?
Yeah, it's intended to sort of go in, you can learn it all from what you're looking at. No hidden stuff to wiki and figure out. There's some mechanics in there that will be familiar to this level player, and a few things that will be new that I used later on to sort of get comfortable with, but nothing like no obscure stuff.
I see a thing in chat about how difficult the mechanics will be. I will say, and maybe disagree, Squid, but I will say it's probably on par with Perilous Moons, aside from the Blood Moon. So I feel like Blood Moon is a little bit more higher.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I mean, there's maybe a little more to watch out for, but not so like accurate click intensive, I guess. Maybe the way to do it, because like we're going for that like social group feel, you know. When it's a solo boss, you really just kind of really focus and be super intense. So we want this to be a little bit more chill.
Yeah.
And I see it's also people asking about, you know, solos and stuff. There are mechanics that we're experimenting with at the moment that are just make everything cleaner and faster in a larger group. So you technically can solo it, but you're better off with people.
Yeah, there's things that we purposely omitted from the blog because one, we didn't want to give it away, and two, we think it'd be interesting for you guys to figure it out when it launches, because I don't think we've done anything like that before. Squid?
No, we'll see. So we'll see how it goes down.
So yeah, again, that's exactly why we omitted it from the blog, because we want to make it a bit more like on launch day you can come in and try and figure out what exactly you need to do. So yeah, where do you see this boss fitting into the progression for an account mid game like Zora or Vorkath?
I remember the numbers. Yeah, it's kind of around that. It's like people they've got 5k, but stepping into some more serious bossing. It's not super crazy. So it's like one of your first big bosses.
Like one of our first big bosses after Jad. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can do it with friends, which is quite nice. You know, do it with friends or other players. I would say, you know, other players.
Yeah.
So
I think the group part that changes the vibe quite a bit. I think you know, when we talk about difficulty and stuff like that, when you've got at this level of content, when you've got solo bosses, you can kind of really make people focus up for a bit, and you're just the only person there. You can really focus on yourself and what you're doing. With the group one, we kind of want to make it a little bit more social, a little bit more a nice thing to see other people. You want to hop into the open world one. You don't just want to make a instance version. So we don't want it to be like too intense to focus on. We want those, you know, a period where you can like, oh yeah, I'm with people. I can maybe have a chat or something. While also having those boss mechanics that are gonna, you know, you want to get better at and can progress through.
Yeah, I think it's quite nice having that option to do something a bit more chill, especially after if you have done Jad for the first time, and obviously everyone knows Jad hands when you first do, first get your fire cave or just doing Jad in general, and then coming out of that and not having to feel that intenseness again straight away is quite nice. I think having that option at least is, I think, a good avenue to go down, and you just get, someone's saying Jad's so easy, yes, but you've also got to remember Riddlebox, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Like, not everyone is where you might be at in your PVM journey, and for people coming in and that are doing Jad for the first time, especially because I think Scurrius lends a bit more to it now because that journey is a bit more there. But realistically, before Scurrius, there was nothing that sort of set you up to do Jad properly, honestly. Like, it's the first time you're properly, effectively switching prayers. And, and you've also got 63 waves. I might be wrong in that. 60 plus waves to do before you get to the Jad. So it's quite intense, especially for your first it could be your first big boss. So, like, it's just something to keep in mind that, it's fair if you find Jad easy, but not everyone finds Jad easy, especially if they're doing it for the first time, So, like, I think it's good to have this balance of, like, one, it be optional, and two, not everything needs to be that intense.
Yep.
Cool. So, is the boss, and we'll just touch on this again because it was the first question, but is the boss weak to Dragonbane weapons?
It is now. It's Draconic now, so it will be.
Yeah, it is Draconic now, so yes, you can. You can hit it with Dragonbane, and it will probably hurt it quite a bit. So, we're not going to say how much, but And again, if anyone missed it at the start, the new weapon is now going to have a Dragonbane on it. It's not the previous iteration of the weapon. It's going to be a Dragonbane weapon, mage weapon, in fact, which I think is the first we've done.
I think it is. It's an interesting one. There's some tuning and tweaking to do there, but yeah, cool.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. All right. I'm just gonna have a quick look at the Twitch chat, Squid, just see if there's any questions that we haven't touched upon. But how you felt the stream has gone while I look through this, apart from all the tech issues?
yeah, that's crazy. I don't know what went on there, but we're good. It's cool. I like seeing all the reactions immediately to just, how about this? Boom, boom, boom. We need to get some more feedback, but it's looking kind of good, I think.
Yeah, I think it's quite nice that we can just sort of like give you guys the opportunity to hear our thoughts directly from after. Like, we only had the feedback meeting today because of yesterday's game update was so chonky. So, and again, hence why we're not rushing the feedback updated version of the blog until next week now, because we want to take our time. So I'll wrap up everything at the end, but I want to ask one question. Will there be any new cosmetic kits from this boss? For example, a new Slayer helmet with the feathers, or a kit for the magic outfit with dragon scales?
Yeah, cosmetics would be really cool. It looks so good. Like, we could make some really cool cosmetic stuff. We need to explore exactly what. But yeah, I would really like to have some cosmetics from this, whatever shape that may take.
What would be kind of cool? And hear me out. This is sort of going away from cosmetics, but what if we had a transmog option on the group boss that gave you the Perilous Moons bosses? So you could use something from Perilous Moons to transmog the pet.
Oh, I see. Oh, the pet transmogs. Varlamore pet.
Yeah. So, because I know there was ideas floating around about maybe there is, have the thralls. I think there was transmogs for the thralls as the Perilous Moons, which I also think is sick, as like super sick.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Again, cosmetic stuff though, I think that's something we'll probably decide later on once we've hashed out all the details for the new stuff that we wanna change. Awesome, cool. Right, so I'm just going to quickly go through the bits that we touched upon earlier. I need my notes because they're not in the script. This is sort of freehand. Right, so the changes we're making, just to make it very, very clear. One, we're making the boss Draconic, so weak to Dragonbane weapons. We're reworking the Dueling Wand, so the built-in spell is being removed. It's being cut down, changed to a 5-tick weapon that can auto-cast from the standard spellbook, and it's going to be given Dragonbane, so it will be the first magic-based Dragonbane weapon that comes from the boss. There will be a new lot of rewards, which is prayer ranged armor, that will give a better prayer bonus than Blessed D Hide. We're still working out the details of exactly where it fits, but just want to make that very clear. We're going to rename the Tome of Earth pages to something else. Again, probably not Sword pages. Not a big fan of that name myself. Then we're going to create a new herb, which the seed only drops from the boss. And then the new herb and the secondary from the Herblore Guild will be used to create the prayer rejuvenation pot. We're adding Sunfire Splinters and Blessed Bones to the drop table. So that is the summary of all the changes that we want to make. I don't think I missed anything out, Squid, but please feel free to jump in if not.
I think that covered it.
Sick.
Yep.
Sick. All right, nice. All right, well, let's go through it. Mod, you may just put them all in the chat just as I finish. So thank you, you may appreciate that. No poopy pages, guys. Grow up, bruv. Grow up. What's going on? Poopy pages. Come on, bruv. All right, let's go over the announcements. Exclamation mark game update. The first batch of Project Rebalance is here with improvements to agility, slayer, mining, and thieving. Also, made training arena a whole lot better now. It's kind of sick, I'm not going to lie. I've been watching Mod Goblin play it while he's off at the moment on the side, which has been lovely. So you can use exclamation mark game update to check out that. There have been a few hotfixes and changes that I've put into the blog, so you can see them at the top. But I'll just quickly go through the upcoming changes that we are looking into. Might not be straight away, just want to stress. Adding a UK world for the Brimhaven Agility Arena, looking to giving you a way to convert your old Brimhaven tickets into new ones, exploring falls at both Canifis and Apatol rooftop courses, readjusting fail rates for heroes and paladins, pickpocketing, readjusting the clue rates for gnomes, and this is the one I want to stress on that it might not be instant, because it probably won't. We're looking at exploring being able to swap a current task with a stored task. So you can look forward to all of that, most likely soon. TM, I'm just going to put it out there as that. Exclamation mark group boss. This is the thing we've all been here for. Varlamore Part 2 group boss proposal. You can see an overview of the PVM encounter aimed at players that have just done their fire cave and starting to get into a bit more intense bossing, and all the rewards that we put in there. But there will be an updated blog that goes out next week, so just bear that in mind with all the things that I summarized here. So just keep that in mind. Exclamation mark Game Jam. We're back from Game Jam 5. If you'd like to learn more about what we worked on during Game Jam, you can use hashtag OSRS Game Jam on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, or check out the wiki page that the lovely wiki team has been updating. Not all of it's on there, but you can expect a blog coming soon-ish that will detail everything that we've been doing in this Game Jam, and I will say it's probably the best one we've done yet, so look forward to that. And finally, exclamation mark GG. If you haven't watched it yet, what are you doing after this stream? Exclamation mark GG. Gillenor Game Season 4 is out now. Check out the very first episode. It is sick. Just go watch it. If you haven't watched any Gillenor games before, don't worry. Jump in and then watch. Maybe watch the old ones first, because like there's probably some story arcs that you wanna catch up on and follow. So there's some good things there. But if not, don't worry. Tune into Season 4. The first episode was sick. Next episode out on Saturday at 7 p.m. BST, I think. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure. And that's it. Squid, you doing good? You feeling good after that?
Yep, all good. Thank you everyone for your feedback. Thank you everyone who filled out the survey. Really appreciate it. We will keep iterating and talking with you guys and come up with something as cool as we can.
Indeed. Yes, we will be keeping an eye on your feedback, not only for Group Boss when it comes out when the new blog comes out next week, but also Project Rebalance. I'll be keeping an eye on that. And thank you all for tuning in. It's been a lovely, kind of chaotic stream, this one, but I've enjoyed it thoroughly. And before I go, remember, I'm from London, not Essex. Just keep that in mind. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we will see you next time. Goodbye. Oh, we're raiding someone. We're raiding someone. Before I go, we're raiding. Who are we raiding? Becky. Okay. Becky OSRS. We're raiding. So make sure you put your hellos ready in chat to say hello and give her a lot of support. It's got a cam off today, I think, but did you say it's not feeling great? Madrid, just chill stream because she's ill. So go and give her some support and send her some love from all of you lovely individuals. So we'll be raiding very shortly. So prepare for that. But yeah, hope you all have a lovely rest of the week. And we will see you very soon.
Bye.
Goodbye.